This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky Morning Start here on WKYT. Good morning to you. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your day. It is June 14th. Right now at 6:30, we are learning more about one of the Orlando shooting victims who had connections to Central Kentucky.
Also, Sunday's shooting has caused safety concerns regarding Lexington's upcoming Pride Festival. Hear why organizers say the event should be safer than ever.
And the Louisville Courier-Journal has issued an apology to legendary boxer Muhammad Ali and his family. We'll tell you why just ahead.
Pretty good start to the day. No rain in the forecast for right now. Later on this afternoon, that's a different story. We're in the 50s and 60s for the most part, so pretty pleasant. By the afternoon, 90 degrees. Most of that's going to be mainly west with that chance of rain. And we'll talk about the severe weather threat tomorrow coming up in about 5 minutes.
And let's get to the news this morning. The stories are starting to come to light now. A barista, a bouncer, and an accountant. Well, different in so many ways, they have one thing in common. They lost their lives in the deadliest mass shooting ever in the United States.
Putting a face to a name here. We now know the names of all 49 people who were killed in that massacre early Sunday at a club in Orlando. Diane Gallagher has the report.
In an instant, Pulse nightclub turned from a party into a panic. 25-year-old Amanda Alviar Snapchatted from inside the club the moment the gunshots rang out. She did not survive. Police say that Omar Mateen, armed with a semi-automatic rifle and a handgun, opened fire. Now, at the time, more than 300 people were inside. Moments later, Pulse posts this message on Facebook: "Everyone get out of Pulse and keep running." The gunman heads towards the bathroom in the back of the club, and that's where 30-year-old Eddie Justice is hiding. He sends this text message to his mother, trapped in the bathroom. His mother asks what club, and he says, "Pulse. Call police. I am going to die." Then, "I'm still in the bathroom. He's coming. I'm going to die." Eddie Justice and dozens of others do not survive. One survivor says the shooter laughed as he shot others.
And one of the first things I hear when I close my eyes are guns, bullets hitting the floor, and just that laugh.
As investigators work to determine why the man with hopes of becoming a police officer turned into a killer, people in Orlando and across the world say love overpowers terror.
We will not be defeated!
And this morning we are learning more about one of the Orlando victims who spent part of his childhood growing up here in Central Kentucky. 29-year-old Daryl Burt was killed in the attack. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at our live desk to explain his connection to Kentucky. Hillary?
Good morning, Bill. Daryl Burt most recently lived in Jacksonville, Florida, where he worked at a local university and was dedicated to community service. The 29-year-old, who is being remembered as smart and well-mannered with a big personality, spent much of his childhood here in Central Kentucky. Burt grew up in Georgetown. A pastor there tells us he came from a very good family who was very involved in the church. During his high school years, Burt's family did move away. He graduated from an Indiana high school in 2005. Then up until Sunday, Burt worked at Kaiser University in Jacksonville as a financial aid officer working with the school's military students. The university president says they learned of Burt's death Monday morning, and the news quickly had a ripple effect across campus.
We've got grief counselors, and we're handling this as best as possible. There's no script for it. It's a community as a whole that's grieving and going through this, dealing with the shock and the aftermath.
Now, we have also learned that Burt was a very involved member of the Jacksonville Jaycees, a group dedicated to community service. He also was still working hard on his own education. Just hours before he was shot and killed inside of Pulse nightclub, Burt walked across the stage receiving a diploma, graduating with his master's degree. At the live desk, Hillary Thornton, back to you.
Very, very sad. Thank you so much, Hillary. Well, Lexington police will have extra security on hand for the city's upcoming annual Pride Festival. 25,000 people are expected to attend this year's festival. Organizers are now working with police on security plans, and they say a larger police presence should make it the safest Pride Festival they've ever had.
People need to come out, not just LGBT people, but allies and the rest of the community need to come out and show that this community is supportive of everybody, and that this community stands up for what's right.
Well, the Pride Festival will be held Saturday, June 25th outside of the Fayette County Courthouse.
Well, the presidential candidates quickly shifted gears after the horrific shooting massacre in Orlando.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump both addressed the situation by presenting different approaches to counterterrorism and gun control. Trump once again said he wants to ban foreign-born Muslims from entering the U.S. Clinton said the government needs to work with Muslim Americans in order to stop lone wolf-style attacks.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio seems open to opening up the door to running for re-election. While speaking about the shootings, Rubio was asked if the incident had changed his decision not to seek another term. The senator said he did not want to tie any political decision to the shooting, but he did say he and his family will pray about it. Republican leaders have been lobbying Rubio for more than a month to run again for his Senate seat in November. He has until June 24th to file for re-election. Of course, he decided not to run for re-election during the time he was seeking the presidency. Two Kentucky lawmakers have also issued statements following the shooting. From the Senate floor, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said the country is supporting the victims and their families. And 6th District Congressman Andy Barr says he wants the country to focus on fighting the Islamic State and not on gun control.
If it wasn't an AR-15, it would have been a bomb that this man strapped to his chest and walked into this and killed these innocent people.
We grieve for the victims, and we say this to their families and to Orlando. You're not alone. Your nation is here with you, and we won't back down in the face of terrorism.
Senator Bob Casey, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, has now introduced new legislation that would keep guns out of the hands of those who commit criminal acts based on hate.
We've been enjoying a very nice stretch of sunshine over the last few days, but that streak may be coming to an end.
Right, a little bit cooler and changes, and WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is here to help you plan your day.
You know, yesterday we hit the mid-80s, and not only that, but the humidity was way down. So mid-80s was very deceiving yesterday. Actually felt quite nice during the afternoon hours. 64 degrees now in Frankfort, 66 in Lexington, and what you're going to be feeling today, yeah, here comes that moisture back into the forecast. So you'll definitely feel it later on this afternoon, close to 90 degrees. Now, it's not extremely steamy and muggy like we felt this weekend, but it's still 90 degrees nonetheless. We look north and west of us. Here come some storms heading toward our viewing area, and that's where we're going to be focusing in on. Today, there is a small chance of rain, especially west of I-75. That's your better opportunity. But the focus is actually on tomorrow. Tomorrow, the eyes are on the sky for that severe weather threat. And I'm going to show you when you can expect that and actually the severity of it. Is it low end? Is it a high risk? We're going to get into that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much. New this morning, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is sidestepping a court ruling. Bill is at our alert desk to explain.
Well, Rebecca, here is what happened last month. Governor Bevin abolished the commission that nominates judges who decide workers' compensation claims, and he replaced them with some new members. Well, labor unions sued. So a Franklin Circuit Court judge temporarily blocked Bevin's order. Instead of appealing that ruling, Bevin rescinded his previous order and has issued another one that he hopes will address the judge's objections rather than wait out the appeal. Critics say they were blindsided by the move. Kentucky's AFL-CIO president says his group would oppose Bevin's new order. A hearing is scheduled now for next week. Rebecca?
Thank you. New this morning, a man's in jail accused of attacking an employee during a robbery. Dirk Hughes will be arraigned today. Police say he tried to steal $300 worth of headphones from Kennedy's Wildcat Den on South Limestone. When the clerk tried to stop him, police say Hughes punched her, knocked her to the ground, and stepped on her. She was not seriously hurt. Deputies in Laurel County are looking for 3 people in connection to a violent robbery. Police say a teenager went to the home of a man she knows on Taylor Bridge Road. But police say a short time later, 2 other men showed up, shot the victim with his own gun, then stole the gun and his wallet. He was flown to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the teenager may have recently run away from home.
The Louisville Courier-Journal is apologizing for refusing to call Muhammad Ali by his new name after he changed it back in the 60s. Ali was born Cassius Clay, but he changed his name to Muhammad Ali in 1964 after adopting the Muslim faith. The Courier-Journal did not consistently refer to him as Muhammad Ali until 1970. The newspaper's executive editor has written in an editorial that the paper's unwillingness to use Ali's name for years, quote, did little to help race relations in a turbulent time. Well, kids in southern Kentucky are spending a fun-filled week with the Kentucky State Police. The annual Trooper Island Camp at Dale Hollow Lake in Clinton County is underway now. State Police say a lot of hard work and fundraising goes into planning the camp. The camp gives less fortunate kids from around the state a chance to spend a week doing some outdoor activities and being around positive influences as well. So
looks great.
It's been 51 years, I think they've been doing the camp. So.
A good chance for a mentorship.
Yeah.
Well, let's check to see how traffic is moving this morning.
Here's Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Things have been light so far. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, no wrecks, and we just checked the circle again all around the city on the inner and outer loops, and it looks like we're trouble-free, at least as of right now. Inbound Richmond Road, stalled car just past Man of War. That should be over to the right. Getting a look at drive times right now from Nicholasville, 13 minutes, from Georgetown, 15, and about 23 from Winchester, with no collisions on US 60 or 64. Getting a look outside at our LFUCG traffic cam, you can see Nicholasville and Pasadena, still very light traffic through that intersection. Now back to you in the studio.
And you can get the latest traffic and weather information anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. So good to have you with us. Our time is 6:41. A lot more news coming up on WKYT this morning.
Well, teens at a Florida Children's Hospital got a much-needed night of fun. How they got a second chance to go to prom when we return.
Focusing in on these storms, not only for today, but mainly for tomorrow. I'm going to show you that, to show you when you can expect these to move on in and who has the best chance at severe storms. This is coming up next.
And some folks are getting a great start to this Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
This is Yoga in the Park down at Triangle Park in Lexington. You're looking at it live right now. We're off to class.
Sun salutation, down dog.
There you go. Looking good here on this Tuesday. We're back with more in a moment.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
No problems as you step out the door here before 7 a.m. It's a good look outside, and not only a good look, but it actually feels pretty decent as you walk out your door early. It's more than 64 degrees there in Frankfort. If you're one of those walkers or runners, let me tell you this. It's a pretty nice start to the day to do that. You don't want to wait until the afternoon, because afternoon we go from the 60s to close to 90 degrees. Not only that, but we are increasing that moisture later on today too. So yesterday at 85, 86 degrees didn't feel all that bad because we were so dry in terms of moisture. The humidity was way down, but it'll start to increase for today too. Get in towards your afternoon and watch this. We start to see it around 2 p.m. I'd say around 2 to 8 p.m. That's your best bet at seeing a couple of rumbles of thunder. I-75, and that does include Lexington and Richmond and Georgetown and so on and so forth, back toward the west. That's your best bet at actually seeing a couple of rumbles for today. The farther it gets over toward the east, better likelihood of it just kind of falling apart. And so western zones, the Cumberland Parkway, Bluegrass Parkway, 127, 27, those are areas, 68 going from Lexington down towards, say, Marion County, Taylor County. Those are your better opportunities to see some of these rumbles of thunder move on through. We go throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. It's not a great chance of rain. Tomorrow morning is only a small chance, but it's really during the afternoon hours. Look what happens. Start to see these storms spark up. I would say anywhere from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's your severe weather threat. So you get some storms sparking up during the afternoon, but your severe weather threat comes late in the afternoon off into the evening hours, and that is going to give us that chance at some possibility, at least, and some damaging winds. We'll need to be watching that very closely. Watch the sky for tomorrow. Then we head towards your Thursday, Friday. Thursday, that front moves through late in the day, so Thursday still very warm, but the rain chance is virtually zero. It's mainly the morning hours we actually see that rain chance. Afternoon looks pretty good. Still roughly 90 degrees on Thursday. Then the front moves through on Friday. Then we're talking about much cooler air Friday off into your weekend. I don't see a good rain chance whatsoever on any 3 of those days. So really your main focus is tomorrow with those strong, potentially severe storms late in the afternoon off into the evening hours. And then we're still roughly 90 degrees because the cooler air is not filtered in just yet. That's going to take some time, but look at the difference from Thursday to Friday, and not only a 10-degree swing, but the moisture drops big time. So humidity is going to be way down on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A lot of events going on. Father's Day coming up this Sunday, which will be perfect. Little fishing, little outdoor plans with Dad. Fantastic weather there on Father's Day on Sunday. So it's looking pretty good there for the weekend. It's just tomorrow doesn't look so good. All eyes will need to be on the sky.
Okay, and we will watch that very
Thank
closely.
you.
And we thank you right now. And has my mic done its thing for the day?
You know what?
Yeah.
We can give you a little break.
Need another battery here.
Okay.
Don't we?
Well,
bring it on over.
Teen patients at a Florida Children's Hospital were treated to a very special night as the hospital pulled out all the stops to give the kids their very own prom. The facility's auditorium was filled with balloons. A caricaturist, okay, I think I said that correctly, was hired. Even the event was catered. Most importantly, though, the kids got to spend the day getting all dolled up for the event. Organizers say it was just a great chance to give their patients some much-needed fun.
We see what they go through. We see their ups, we see their downs, and this is one of their ups, and we're able to see them enjoying life and being their normal selves.
Take a look at this. I'm Jeremy Roth.
The hospital staff said the event was a really great chance to give the teen patients a prom night, because it's something many of them were forced to miss actually because of their medical needs. So really great to see them doing something good for those kids who really deserve a lot of fun and pampering and boogieing. Looks like
Yeah, they look like they had just a great old time, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, Micah to the rescue. Went and got me a battery, and now you can hear 6:48 on WKYT. On your Tuesday morning, it's Flag Day in America. We have a lot more news coming right up for you.
Stick around.
Ahead on CBS this morning, from a singer to a man who just wanted to learn Latin dancing, a couple planning to marry. We are learning more about the victims of the Orlando terror attack. And Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson is here in Studio 57. We'll talk with him about the investigation into the shooter. The news, it's back in the morning. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on the dot.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Welcome back in. This morning, the investigation continues at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando.
Police say Omar Mateen opened fire inside the club Sunday morning. 49 people died, making the attack the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. Police later killed Mateen during a gun battle. The FBI says he appeared to be self-radicalized.
We see no indication that this was a plot directed from outside the United States.
At least one clubgoer claims that Mateen had been seen inside the club several times before that he carried out the massacre. But investigators have yet to confirm that report. Surgeons are telling CBS News that the hospitalized victims are expected to recover. President Obama will be traveling to Orlando on Thursday to pay his respects to the victims' families.
Well, one of the 49 victims of the attack had ties to Central Kentucky. Friends say 29-year-old Daryl Burt lived in Georgetown during part of his childhood. In recent years, he lived in Jacksonville, Florida, while working at Kaiser University. We also learned Burt had just graduated with his master's hours before being shot at that Pulse nightclub in Orlando. A spokesperson for the Burt family in Kentucky says his parents are now asking for prayers.
The University of Kentucky is holding a memorial service for the Orlando victims that will be tomorrow afternoon. The service will be held at the VIP Center and Frazee Hall, that is across from the Patterson office tower. It will begin at noon.
Well, Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear is pursuing a lawsuit against Marathon Petroleum. The lawsuit, filed last year by former Kentucky Attorney General Jack Conway, claims Marathon has a monopoly on the supply on gasoline in much of the state, which led to higher gas prices. Marathon had asked the judge to throw it out, but that judge refused to dismiss the state's lawsuit.
NASCAR returns to Kentucky in a few short weeks for the Quaker State 400, and for many drivers it will feel like a completely new racetrack. Over the last few months, the Kentucky Speedway has undergone some major changes, including increased banking in turns 1 and 2, a completely new repaving, and today drivers are in Sparta to again test out the new surface. They say the difference between one side of the track being steep and the other side being more flat is the most challenging part.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. You're going to have to know where you're at, kind of, you know. It's just something that you don't remember Kentucky Speedway being, so it's different for me right now, and I'm trying to get all of that processed as I keep making laps out there and getting used to it.
The Quaker State 400 at the Kentucky Speedway is set for July 9th.
More details have been released on the arrest of UK basketball player Derek Willis. He's charged with alcohol intoxication out of Boone County. This happened over the weekend. According to his arrest citation, a sheriff's deputy found Willis passed out while lying in the street next to the open driver's side door of a car. The citation says Willis admitted to having a lot to drink, and when asked where he was, he could only say Northern Kentucky. UK says it's aware of the situation and still gathering details.
Democratic presumptive nominee Hillary Clinton is expected to meet with Bernie Sanders later today in Washington. The Clinton campaign says the two will discuss a path forward on policy issues and how best to defeat Donald Trump in November. Their meeting comes as voters in the nation's capital cast their votes in the final Democratic contest. Well, it may be hard to see from our WKYT Skycam, but concrete has been poured at the Centerpoint project. Our partners at the Herald Leader say that concrete is now in place for the walls of the underground parking garage. It's expected to take 10 months to finish the $38 million three-story, 700-spot garage. And then from there, they supposedly will move on with the development at Centerpoint. So some progress that we've been tracking for years.
All right. There's a flea and little elbow room in James Corden's car.
Let's go. Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant cousin to the reservation.
The Late Late Show host packed the red hot chili peppers into his SUV for his latest episode of Carpool Karaoke. You can catch the Late Late Show weeknights right here on WKYT. Good old time there in the car, it looks like.
Yeah, let's check in with Micah to see what the weather's doing.
Yeah, and the weather looks pretty good too. 63 degrees. It's going to be a fun ride off into work early this morning. 62 there in Jackson, 64 Frankfort, 67 Lexington. You get it. The farther east you are, actually a much nicer feel in the air. But you go back west, that's where that warm front is located. And that is where we're going to actually see a chance of rain today. It's about 30–40%. I'd say I-75 westbound back toward I-65. That is your better opportunity to see some of these storms today.
All right. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you so much for being with us here on WKYT.
Bye-bye.